Well, there's definitely political stuff you have to be a bit cautious of. When you do live shows, it's hard to choose the right time because, you know, the Australians can't do in the mid-afternoon because it's late night for them, and Americans can't do in the morning because it's evening or late night for them. So that's hard, especially if you live in Europe, if you don't have, you know, because the biggest audience still is in the US or in Australia actually. And so it's a bit tricky. And of course, cultural differences you have to be aware of. And I think that for us Europeans, we may be a bit more aware of that than some Americans, at least that's what I hear. And you just want to have a balance. You know, you want to talk about what's going on in your part of the world, but definitely also what's going on in different parts of the world, other parts, so that everybody feels included and that there's not someone sitting in Latin America thinking, well, you're just talking about everybody else, but you know, I'm just not part of the party. I think it is still the best choice to use English as kind of the default language, or, you know, to get started, because the biggest audience still is English speaking. And especially, you know, I'm from Germany, and Germans are very skeptical still. I do have a German podcast, but it's very slow, and people, they're very reserved about it. And so I think that especially when you have a topic that is global, you know, that, for example, I'm doing the podcast about anorexia, which is unfortunately a global issue, and every woman or, you know, even men now all over the world, there are people who can relate, and it's not just, you know, people in Germany or people in Switzerland. There are people everywhere. So if you have a topic, if you do a podcast about a TV show that, you know, many people all around the world watch, then it is smarter to do a podcast in English because so many more people can actually watch. One of the top tips I have in order to build a community is to definitely just build relationships. Be very, very authentic, be honest with whatever, you know, you're doing with your audience. Tell them what is really going on, and people relate to that very well. The more real you are, the more people will respond, and the more they will refer you to others. And, you know, but also it's important to reach out to many podcasters, to those who have big audiences, to again build relationships with them. I think it's very important, and I did a lot of these things, and when you get a mention on a big show, you know, it drives a lot of traffic to your site. So that's definitely, it's the same thing as, you know, you would build an audience in the US or wherever you are. So.